Welcome to African Mysteries, where ancient whispers, dark secrets, and untold legends come to life. These stories are based on folklore, real experiences, and cultural beliefs. Viewer discretion is advised. Let the mystery begin. Episode 4: The Blood Beneath the Church. There is a silence that comes after you curse your own bloodline. It doesn't arrive all at once, it creeps in, slowly, like smoke under a door. For Afi Madu, that silence came the night after she poured the black gourd on the altar steps of Blood River Ministries International. She expected retaliation. She expected nightmares. But what came instead was quiet. Too quiet. She didn't sleep that night, not because she was scared, but because the air itself felt dead. The usual whispers were gone. No ghostly knockings. No shadows at the window. Even the rats refused to move. It wasn't peace. It was the calm before the curse. And the curse came the next morning. At exactly 7:06 a.m., a boy no older than 8 appeared at the front gate of a hideout in Erevu. He had no shoes. His shirt was torn. But what made Afi freeze was the object in his hand. A piece of her mother's veil, the same one they buried her in. The boy didn't speak. He simply walked toward her, arms stretched out, and dropped the cloth at her feet. Then he opened his mouth, and her father's voice came out. "You spilled blood on holy ground. Now the ground will spill blood back." The boy collapsed on the spot. His eyes rolled back, dead, just like that. Afi screamed, but not for the boy. No, her scream was for what she saw behind him. The dirt road outside the gate had turned red. Blood, flowing uphill, crawling toward her door like it had a mind of its own. The snake was coming. Desperate, Afi returned to Pa Olorunleke, the blind spiritualist. She hadn't even made it into his compound when she saw the crows, hundreds of them, lined across the fence. Silent, watching. Inside, the old man sat in the middle of a salt circle, muttering to himself in Yoruba and drawing sigils with kola nut paste. His face was pale, sweat glistened on his forehead. He looked up at her and whispered, "It's no longer a family curse. You made it a war." Afi dropped to her knees. "Then teach me how to fight." The old man hesitated. "If you want to kill the serpent, you must go to its nest." She knew what he meant. Not the church, the house, the original one. The ancestral home in the forgotten village of Otumokpo, deep in the forest. The house, her grandmother, the priestess of the cult, built with her own hands. A house that hadn't seen daylight in over 40 years. Afi had only been there once as a child, during a funeral. She remembered 2 things. 1, the air smelled like burnt feathers. 2, no birds sang for miles around. 3 days later, Afi stood at the edge of the Otumokpo forest, clutching a satchel of charms and a machete that refused to stay clean. Pa Olorunleke had given her final instructions. When you reach the house, you must find the shrine beneath the floor. There, you'll see a jar. Inside it is the real covenant, the one that binds your father, the ghost, and the snake. You must break it with your blood. Sounded simple. It wasn't. By the time she reached the crumbling mud house, her clothes were torn and soaked in sweat. She hadn't seen a single animal the entire hike. Not even insects, just silence. And bones. Small ones. The door opened by itself. Inside, time had stopped. Furniture untouched. Bowls still sitting on mats like someone just had dinner. A lamp flickered in the corner, even though there was no oil in it. And in the center of the room, a trapdoor. She pried it open. What she saw underneath made her want to vomit. Skulls, dozens of them, arranged in circles painted with dried blood. In the middle, a massive clay jar with carvings of snakes, women, and something that looked like her father, but with no eyes. She stepped down into the shrine. As soon as her foot hit the ground, the walls screamed, not metaphorically. The mud literally opened mouths and wailed. Then, the ghost appeared. Her mother, but not like before. This time, her form was twisted, her jaw hung too low, her eyes were all white. She floated inches off the ground, drenched in wet funeral robes, her voice distorted. "You think breaking the jar will set you free?" Afi trembled. "I think it will break him." The ghost lunged. They fought, not with fists, but with spirit. Afi raised her charms. The ghost shattered them. She chanted the blood oath she had learned from Pa Olorunleke, and the ghost wailed in pain. The snake slithered from the walls, huge, fangs long as daggers, eyes glowing like molten gold. Afi did the unthinkable. She caught a palm with the machete and smeared the blood across the jar. The jar cracked. The snake roared. The ghost howled. The shrine began to collapse. Skulls burst like eggs. The air turned black. And Afi? She passed out. She woke up 3 days later in a hospital bed in Erevu. No one knew how she got there. But the news on TV told her everything she needed to know. Prophet Kwaku Madu had been found dead in his prayer room, naked, eyes wide open, no signs of struggle, no heart failure, just a look of unspeakable terror frozen on his face. As for the church, it burned to the ground during a thunderstorm. No lightning, no fire source, just flames and screams. And the last image anyone saw before the cameras melted, a massive black snake coiled around the altar, melting into the floor. For more mysteries from the Motherland, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a tale. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and beware. Some legends are more than just stories.